Welcome to Think Alive. We're Sharon and Andy, just two people with a dream and a vision of restoring our traditional stone-built farmhouse in southern Spain, transforming it into a beautiful off-grid home and sharing our journey with you.
It's a new week on the Thinker. Welcome everyone. This is looking really good. If anyone's been seeing our previous videos, we're making a handmade, bespoke, solid wooden kitchen units for our utility room, which is in the kitchen. This has had, I lose count, 5 coats, maybe 6 coats of linseed oil, and if you can see on the thing, I tried to put it so you could, there's 1 or 2 patches, particularly around the big knotty features, which are lovely, that it's still a bit dull. So I think 1 more coat is going to do it. So that's what I'm going to give it now. We're so pleased with the way the other ones turned out. Yeah, we're very, very happy with it. I think, yeah, this one, I've actually let it dry an extra couple of days, and as it starts to sit on the surface and not soak into the wood, it takes so much longer to dry. So I've given this one an extra couple of days to make sure that it is, and I'm just going to put a really thin coat on it now, and hopefully that will dry quickly, because the other one took weeks. So let's do it. Won't take long. We're also going to be carrying on with this shortly. Our lovely new sink unit, and we want to we use these drawers upstairs. We're actually really happy with how they came out, and we're thinking they might just fit in there. Probably will. Put a row of them down there, finish them off each side. So we need to discuss that when Sharon gets back. Ooh, falling over now. She's not here at the minute. But yeah, this should be, I'll forget it somewhere near by the end of the video, fingers crossed. But first, I spent most of the day, well, most of the weekend actually, haven't we?
Yes, we've had an interesting weekend.
Contemplating. Winter's coming up, and obviously we're totally off grid here, and we generate 100% of all our own power. And in the winter, we had problems last winter, where it was miserable, days and days of minimal.
We did have a particularly bad winter, but obviously unusual. It was our first winter living off grid, and yeah, we came across some issues, didn't we?
Yes, and we want to rectify them for this winter. We did have, when we first got the system, it was nowhere near big enough, so we did have more panels, thanks to Fortuna Logica who helped us with those. We got an extra bank of batteries, something to eat me, because we didn't have enough power from the batteries that we had, and now we do have, sufficient power, apart from those periods that are duller.
We can cope with 1 day, but if we get several days, as we did last winter, yeah, it's a problem. So.
We do have a backup generator. The problem is with it, it's a manual start. There's a lot we didn't know, there's a lot we've learnt. So we could either get more panels and get more batteries to keep us going for longer periods of time, but to be able to go for 2 or 3 days on the battery with more batteries, you'd look at another 3,500 euros.
Massive outlay.
Whereas we actually decided we're going to get an auto start generator, which starts up automatically when the batteries reach a predetermined level that you set.
Yeah.
Many reasons for this. The first is the batteries will never get that low because it's discharge rates that harm batteries and shorten the life. So this should prolong the life of the batteries massively, because they'll never get flat, and it'll just start up automatically, whereas we've got to do it manually, and sometimes overnight, if it's been a dull day, the batteries can be really low.
Yeah.
It's not good for them.
No.
So for the price of the generator, it's about 1,400 euros.
Yep.
And
it should prolong the life of the batteries, and a lot cheaper than buying more panels and more batteries.
And of course we're going to put fuel in it. It's diesel, which is even better.
Yep.
And we used about 30 litres of petrol, sorry, we ran it for about 30 hours last winter. Our current generator's petrol uses about 2 litres an hour. This is diesel, uses 1 litre an hour. So it's probably gonna, if it costs us 30-40 euros.
Yeah.
So compared to buying batteries and panels, fantastic. So that's what we're going to do. So this is our current generator. It's been great, but as we said before, our batteries did get pretty low over the winter, and a lot lower on a couple of occasions than we would have liked them to have done. It doesn't do them any good, and the cost of replacing them is huge. So we did use this quite a lot. I think we ran it for about 30 hours. Yeah, it served us well, but instead of getting more batteries, like I said earlier, to cope with the thing, we may as well buy this auto start generator. And this is where my morning has been lost, trying to figure out how they work basically. And it transpires on the bottom of the inverter, on the back of the inverter, or inside the inverter, most inverters, there's a little dry signal contact, and what that does, you can set the parameters on that for your battery. It's just like basically a relay, and that'll switch over when your battery voltage reaches a predetermined low level, and switch back when they reach the level that you want them to be. That sends a signal to the auto start generator, which then fires it up. Absolutely fantastic. Didn't know about all this stuff before, so I think that's going to solve all our potential power issues for the winter. Even if it runs for 50 hours, it's going to cost us what, 75 euros or something like that for a whole winter's full of extra electric, which will soon offset the outlay of buying the generator as opposed to buying more batteries and potentially more panels. So I think in summary, our whole solar system costs less than it would have cost us to get connected to the grid in Spain. I know a lot of people at the moment are considering going onto solar power because of the spiralling cost of electricity. I would say go for it, to be honest, even if it hadn't paid for itself already with the initial connection costs. There are no standing charges, particularly in Spain. The standing charges are really high, and the cost of electricity is just going more and more and more. And our bills in our last place, which was a little 1-bedroom house on grid, we were 80 to 100 euros a month thereabouts, off the top of my head, if my memory serves me right. Even with a basic installation, you're going to get your money back in, not so many years at all. And after that, it's free. And for us, the cost of the generator plus a small amount involved to run it, rather than another massive investment to increase the power of this, makes sense to supply us with our infrequent demands whenever we need them. So there we go. So it's yet another hot day. We're forecast to be 36 Celsius, 97 Fahrenheit today. It's the 6th of September. Sharon's not with me today. She's gone to a friend's birthday, celebrate a friend's birthday with her. So I've been quested with sorting this mirror out. It's all painted, it's all come up rather lovely, so I just need to stick the glass in. I put some cushions down so I don't scratch it. The glass, the mirror, it is glass, isn't it? So the first thing I'm going to do is give it a quick polish, get all them up especially from round the edges that they're going to be up against the frame. So there we go. I'm sure that's not up to standard, but it's not bad. We'll just sit the glass in there. If it'll go in, come on glass, get in. Without breaking it. And then put the backing thing on. I'm just waiting for my hot glue gun. This is probably about the most Neanderthal early glue guns ever. It doesn't even have a trigger. You've got to push it through using a stick once it heats up. So it's not quite there yet. We'll give it a few minutes longer. Right, we're about there. I'm just going to put a blob of glue in each corner, hopefully, and that'll work. It is good stuff. One there. One there. Press it down while the glue goes off a bit, and we'll see what we've got. So there it is, done, lovely. Happy days. Just going to put it on the wall here above the sink. Not really easy at all to film in here. It's such a tiny room, but there's the sink. Just going to put a spirit level centre of the taps, mark up the wall exactly where I want it. So that's centre there. Get the bubble in the middle. It's going in the middle of that one there. Just scratch him out with the screw. Pop him in. There it is. Should do. See if we can hang him up. Of course, it needs cleaning again now. Oh, if I can find it. There it is. Hey! Smashing. How's that? Well, this worktop is looking lovely. There are still one or two patches, mainly around these big nuts, that are still just a little bit dull where it's soaked in. So I'm going to give it this will be the final coat, I think, but I'm going to try and concentrate more on the drier bits so we don't get it too thick on the bits that are already alright. I think I might just end up just doing it all again, and with no panic to do this. We want it to be dry. The other one took days, but we've still got plenty of other stuff to be getting on with. So I'll get this done. Right, so I can carry back on with my unit now. I'm going to rip this one down and look at getting the rest of the legs in. So I think we've finally decided what we're going to do with the legs. We're going to put a middle one in here, which is pretty easy. 2 doors there. And the pack of drawers, I think we're going to put them down on the angle over here, with another door, perhaps a slim door here. I need to figure out how to put a leg in. I need 2 more legs for in here. I've only got enough for 1 more, but I've got another 150-year-old piece, which is exactly what this one is, and once it's plain down, it looks fantastic. May as well get it used up, it's the last one. I'm not going to put a shelf under here, because with all these pipes and stuff there's probably not much point, but I'm probably going to put one, have this a through cupboard here, put a shelf in there somehow, access from this little door is going to be here, or obviously from this door as well. So first job, I'm going to get this leg cut. So there he is, exactly the size that I want. I want to get him. I've just put some glue on it. I'm just going to literally glue him in place. But I want him, if I can, dead centre. Some of those are the same size. So we'll get him sorted out before the glue starts to go off. There we go. The trick is to get it exactly the right length, so there's an even amount of weight on all of them. If you make it slightly too long, it'll lift the other 2 off the floor. If it's not enough, it'll flap about. So a bit fiddly. I perhaps should have put him in before I put the lid on, but it doesn't matter. He's in now. Right, so looking at this bit now, I don't have set myself some complicated challenges with these angles and stuff. It looks the best way rather than having a square corner or anything. But so what I've done, I want me draw pack to go in like that, about there. Ish, yes. So what I've done, I've drawn a line down the edge of the drawer there. And I'm actually going to draw one down this side if I can keep it still. While I'm at it, there we go, we can get him out of the way now. And I think I'm going to have to cut myself a thinner post for this side, because I want this to continue around, because that's going to be faced off after, like that one. And continue this around up to about under there, and then I'll have to put a thinner post down this one, and obviously I'll put an equally thinner one at this side, I think, to match it up. Yeah, we'll just make it up as we go along. Right, okay, so this is the last of me 150-year-old wood, I think. I'm just taking a slice off the end of it. It's the same piece that I made that middle from there, and he will actually fit perfectly. Coming up to my corner. Fab. I'm going to mark that there. Yeah, brilliant. So now I need to think about cutting these small piece in there with an angle on there because it kicks back a bit, and then another angle on this end because it kicks back a bit, and then I can get one across the front here, and we can make some progress. Lovely when a plan comes together. So I've cut an angle on that to reflect that angle, absolutely perfect. This line where I offered the leg up before, I've just extended it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to clamp him to there with a soft cloth and my clamp. I have to get up to do that. And then I can transpose this line onto the front and then onto the back, and then draw a line across it, and that gives me the angle that I need to cut. Let's see if we can get him on here with no damage. Thank you very much. I'll do. Right. Mark that one on the front there. Mark this one on the back. Oh, don't do that. There. I think the pencil's run out. And that should give me, yes, my angle. I just join those two dots together and that's me cut angle. Fab. Right, happy days. For now I'm just going to glue him in place again. It'll all come together. Stick him up there. Get him exactly right. And then that's alright. Right, I'm just leaving to go off now. Obviously don't want to clamp it because I don't want to risk marking my top, but that'll do the job nicely. So I'll let that go off, and yeah, think about the next step. The next step's going to be another piece to go in here, which is the opposite of that angle, which should be easy enough to fathom out. What am I talking about? It should be just a straight cut that now, all the way down to the end. Fabulous. Let that go off a bit first. So the last piece to go under there, I've just offered it up and drawn a line along it on the edge here. So get him in the right place, actually first helps. And then I want to cut that line just in a little bit, 15mm to be precise, to keep this gap the same all the way along to allow for me facing. So I'll go and cut this one. Right, so you're just going to go in there like that, same as before. I'm just going to glue it and then wedge it up with this one exactly where I want it. Then we can look at doing the rest of it. It takes ages this, but it's going to be worth it. Alrighty, so he's in. We just need to let this lot go off now, and we'll pick it up again in the morning doing our legs next and then working out the drawer. That end's going to come later because that's going to be incorporated into a cupboard that is going over there. But this is the most complicated bit I want to get sorted first. So we'll pick it up in the morning shortly. Right, so we're leaving the utility temporary because we've got our new generator coming. Hopefully in the next few days, should be this week. So we need a place to put it, obviously. I mean, it's an opportunity to tidy this area up. I put a thing on the wall there ages ago to build a roof because we're originally going to make a little store here for gas bottles and the generator and things. So I think, yeah, we're going to try and use this, recycle this IBC into a base that we can fill with hardcore and probably concrete over the top for a nice good base for it to sit on. Put a roof over it to keep it nice and dry and clean. They are designed to be used outside, but it'll be nice to keep it covered and clean, and maybe even put some doors on it in the future, make it even quieter than it's supposed to be already. So yes, we want to get this done early as well before the sun comes round because it's been absolutely scorching still. So we'll make a start. Kind of not looking too bad. Anything and everything that's not stone is going in here, just to give us a bit of a hardcore for the thing. We can concrete this nice and level, then cut the sides off when it's done, and then build it nicely up all around to make it look pretty. That's the idea anyway. In the meantime, I'll carry on. Right, that's not so bad. That's reasonably good bit of hardcore in there. But as you can see, the sun's here. It's getting too hot now. I'm absolutely melting. Time to go in. So finally cooled off a bit. And it's time to carry on with this. I'm going to make the two legs that are going to form the front of our drawer pack. So I'm going to use this. It's what I made the gate out of. It's the one last piece of the original wood that lives around here, and that's going to be my front face. Or that width is going to be my front face. I'm just going to literally rip this down with the saw, and that'll give me my two legs. I need to measure it, of course, set the guide, set the blade. So I'll get this set up and get it cut. I'm going to need the bench because I obviously want to give these a bit of a sand. They come out quite nicely actually, very interesting, old. Our work surface for the other unit is looking very, can you see that on there, very shiny and nice. So I need to move him out of the way, put him somewhere safe, we can crack on with these. He's nearly dry, still a tiny bit tacky, but we've got plenty to be getting on with. Right, so after an hour or more of messing about, we've finally got these cut to the length where they're under tension and set. We're so restricted by these pipes, and this is going to fit exactly between them to touch that. And after a load of messing about, they're not fixed in yet, by the way, they're just balanced. We've got it so the drawer comes in and sits flush all the way down to about there, and where the pipe interferes. But we'll just put a blanking plate on the bottom or something. So yeah, what a mission. We can carry on though now. Whew, but we're not doing that today because it's far too hot. I'm absolutely dripping. It's not so bad. They're lovely and cool in here, but half the time I'm backwards and forwards and standing outside with the saw in the baking sun. Crazy temperatures for September. So we're going to call it a day there, aren't we? But what have we got?
Well, I've been and picked the onions. There aren't that many this year.
We didn't do many,
they're
did
not
we?
Huge, but they're all right. Nice little salad onions. So yeah, they were all dried up. All the greenery had died off them, so it was time to pick them. So that's what I've been up to today, and usual domestic stuff, never ending.
So yes, that's us. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks so much to everyone that supported the channel. Thanks to all our subscribers, and welcome to our new subscribers. And we'll see you on Sunday.